Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for week 27 of Journaling on a Budget. And I've been working on the front cover, so I thought I'd show you how that was coming along. I did paint a little bit here because I thought it was a little too blah, the coloring. And then I did comb these all out, took a little bit of glue stick and stuck it behind there because I didn't want them just matted down to the cover. And so they're still a little bit loose and a little bit held in place. But I am going to hang some kind of a dangle here, and I was kind of thinking about, because we didn't put this one in our spine dangle, but I thought that might look kind of cool right there. So tell me what you think. What you think about putting that right on there? So, because I kind of like that, but it's one of those, sometimes you just go, that's it. And then sometimes you go, yeah, I like it. I don't know if I do. So let me know what you think about putting that right there in the center. And actually it does fit just perfectly as far as length goes. So that's that. Okay, so today we are going to make, and you've seen these a million times before, but it's time for us to fill up our pockets and that type of thing, although this is going on a page. But I saw Gail Agostinelli was doing like an eBay purchase or something, and somebody sent her a thank you note like this. And we'd made these little fold-in envelope journaling spots before, but I never really put much on the front, because then that makes it so that because you're going to write on this, that's underneath of there, and you really can't write on it, especially if you're using paper. It makes it too bumpy and everything. But I really loved the way it looked with the lace. And so I was thinking, and I thought, okay, we'll just fix that. So what I did was, we've still got a journaling spot there, but in the center, that's where the lace is, I just put a pretty little something to look at, and then another journaling spot here. So there's still plenty of room to journal, but when you open up, there's a really cute little surprise also. So that's what we're going to do today. And this one I thought we would put in our journal right on the other side of this page. We've got our purple flower over here in our matchbook thing. And so I thought this would look really cute if we just glue it on right there, and then it will open up like that. So I thought that would be cute. So that's where we're going to put that one. And we'll do that right now, and then maybe we'll do some stenciling down here or something, but maybe not, because this was one of the pages that has a nice leaf pattern right here. And so maybe I'll just journal around the edges of it or something. Or not journal, just kind of stencil around the edges so that little leaf spot stays where it's at. I want to kind of get it really good here at the top, because we're going to have to kind of bend over that fabric there. So I'm going to put that right up there, but I thought that it just matched so well on this page. I'm going to grab my pressing board. So I can press that down really well. And in this instance, because of the bumpiness and everything that we've got here, like at the top, I really did want to use the Fabri-Tac on this one because it would grab quickly. Or maybe just a touch of hot glue across there, and then regular glue across the rest of it. But I just wanted it to really grab that top section on that little bit of fabric that's right there. So there we go. And like I said, maybe we'll do something here and just leave our little leaf right there. But that's what that one looks like. So I'm gonna do the same thing. As a matter of fact, I really liked the flowers and the butterfly there. So I am going to kind of do the same thing with the next one, which I grabbed a piece of paper out, and then I found a spot where it would go, and I thought it would go nicely here because we've got the purple over here, we've got the purple here, and this has got purple in it. So I thought that this would be a nice piece to use to make one to go right across that page there. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to make it a little bit wider. So I want it to come almost edge to edge. So pretty much right about there. Move this out of the way. And grab my cutter. here, and then just make sure that I'm straight. Alrighty, there we go. And then I have to decide, do I want it to be really long? Well, let's go ahead and fold our flap first. And with your top flaps, I'm just finding the center there. I'm going to fold that down. I'm going to kind of press it right there at the center point. Not do too much of that yet, just to make sure that I can line them up in the middle. Like that. And once I get them lined up in the middle, then I'll press them down. There we go. Because that way, if I had put this to the center point, but I could have put it like way over here, or I could have put it back here, it's hard to know whether I've got the right angle on it. That's why I just press the center and then bring them together and fold them down. Now we definitely want a gap there. And I don't like them, you know, I don't want it to be too big. So I think that I'm going to go right about there. And then I'm going to cut it a little bit below that flap. Not a whole ton below the flap, because you don't want the white part showing when you fold the flap down, at least not much of it. So I'm going to kind of do that there, and then just cut that off. There we go. We can get this out of the way now. So now I'm going to fold this down. Just like that. And then we're going to find some lace to put across here. Let's see. Because we've got purples in those pages, I think that I want to do the purple like I did on the other one. And then I really do like the cream colored kind of crochet. This one is one of my favorites, and this comes from the Dollar Tree, but I just really love that one. So we're just going to take the pin out. And I'm going to get a piece that's a little bit longer than what I need, just so that I know I don't have to line it up super close at the edges. I prefer to do that. I prefer to have a little bit extra that I can cut off, and then you can always use that in a snippet. Put that over there. Okay, and then to darken this up a little bit, because it is very light. It's not that bad, but excuse me. I'm going to just kind of fold it in half like that, because that makes it even darker. And I'm going to put the little scallops at the top. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little bit of the Fabri-Tac on a few of these flowers. If I can get it going. Just like that. And then make sure it doesn't glue down to whatever paper you have there. And don't put it on there right away, because you want it to just dry a little bit, especially since this is lace. Let it dry before you glue it to the front of your little envelope there. So I like this one. And then I also used this one on the other one. I thought that was pretty cute. So I think I'm going to do it again, just the same way. And it just kind of keeps a little bit cohesive in the journal too, even though they're not near each other. I'm going to put this one on the top so that I don't lose the looks of it. And that will cover up the gathered area here where this lace is gathered, because it's not the prettiest. So again, I think I'm going to put on this one, I'm going to put the glue right on that gathered part. They kind of fold a little tool over there when they gather it and sew it to hold it together. So that gives you a good place to glue to when you're using this type of lace. And it doesn't glue down your frillies, which is the whole point of having them. So let's put that there. I'm going to put this one kind of right across the bottom. Just like that. Make sure I don't stick it to my paper down there. And then we're going to take this one and put it right across the middle. That looks good to me. This one needs to be brought down just a little bit. Just make sure it's pretty straight. There we go. I'm going to just let that go to the answering machine. Sorry about that. We're going to put a little glue here and a little glue right here. Okay. And then glue it right. Let's straighten that out a little bit. Make sure we get it straight there too. And there we go. Now we've got our part that's going to hold our flap down. Right there. And I like the way that looks. So I'm going to set this aside for just a second while we decorate, and that'll give that a chance to dry. Excuse me. Now this is, I just want to see this for a second. This is going to be right here. So I'm wondering, do we want to put a little bit of this? No, I don't like it. I think maybe that might look pretty with a flower or something on it. So let's move that out of the way. And if you want, you can leave these. I usually leave them undone. I just crease them really well, but I don't glue them down. That way, if somebody wants to open those up and write kind of a little something in there that they don't want super visible, you know, and then they can close it back down again. But you can glue those down if you want to. Well, you know what I did? I cut that too short. This should have been here as a third. That should have folded up there. Then that should have folded up there. Well, you know what? It's too late now. I could go get another whole piece of paper and do it, but there's nothing wrong with this, so I'm going to keep it. And I'm still going to, because we're going to have the lace on here. I'm still going to decorate this part, and there will only be this much journaling space, which is totally fine. Now, I don't have my ink out here. I forgot to bring it out. So I have to decide, what do I want to do with this? Do I want to leave it white, or do I somehow want to cover it? And I'm thinking maybe we'll just go ahead and put a few bits on it before. Do I want that? No, I just want regular glue for this. I'm going to just use a little bit of tacky glue, because I think sometimes that the Fabri-Tac gets a little bit bumpy, and I don't want it to be bumpy. And if I don't use a whole ton of this, it won't be super wet. It shouldn't wrinkle me up too badly. So I'm going to spread it out. right up with the fold. There, that looks good, except it needs a little bit more glue right there. Oh, I definitely need to change my mat. It's just too puffy. Then, let's see. Got some of these right here. That's too busy to put, like, I want to put the flowers and butterfly on there, so that's just too busy. I also have some of our washi tape. And on this end, we've got kind of purple and pink, so I think that that would be pretty on there. I have to find where the tape starts. I'll start at this end. I don't want to start at that end because I want this end. There's the tape. Because I painted all the way to the end, so I wasn't sure where the start of the tape was. I couldn't see that. Okay, let's see. Tear that off right about there. And then, I'm gonna set this down for just a second and I'm gonna see if I can lift this up. Because I want that ripped edge to show. I should have thought about that before I glued it down. Okay, I'm shortening this up because I don't want to cut the ends. I want it to have ripped ends on it. Slide that just under there. Yeah, I like the way that looks, and then we'll just glue that back down. I'm going to grab a piece of paper towel. Sorry if I was talking too quietly there a second ago. When I'm thinking, I kind of talk a lot quieter. Sorry about that. Okay, I got a little white spot right there. Oh. Nope, fold it back down. Okay, now I'm going to take purple, a little bit of the purple Distress Inks, and I'll go around the edges there. Try and peel this off just a little bit. There we go. And then put one more of these right on there. And let's rip the top just a little bit because I want it to go almost all the way to the bottom. Now, if I had my purple Distress Ink here, I might go ahead and distress around this before I glued it down. But then again, maybe not, because we're going to put our flowers and butterflies on top, so I might not really want that definition running across the page like that. Okay, so that's going to go there, and I do still need to tear just a little bit off this end. Like that. And that's going to go right there. Okay, so we'll get a little bit of glue on there. Spread it out good so that it doesn't get all wet, wrinkly. So if you find that when you use wet glues, it wrinkles your papers really bad, if you spread them out pretty good, it doesn't wrinkle your papers anywhere near as bad, and sometimes it doesn't wrinkle them at all. I'm going to put that like that. So there we go. just going to fold up like that. And then, so I have some butterflies here. These butterflies just came from the Dollar Tree, and they've got dimension to them. They've got like an acetate top, a plastic top, and then a pretty metallic kind of bottom. But they go really flat in your journals. I mean, really flat because they're so thin. So these, sometimes puffy stickers are not a good thing to use, but those ones really are. And so then, just want to grab my flowers out here and just kind of see what we want for flowers. Now there's a purple affirmation flower on the other page. They're not there in my box. We might want to put one maybe on the front of this. We'll think about that. Alrighty, so we kind of have a pinkishes and purples. So, ooh, I kind of like that one right off the bat. Ooh. This one I think is way too thin. Yeah. Okay, so right now that's my favorite. That's too blue. Let's maybe look at a few pinks, because pink might be nice. That's too big. And that's too pink. I'm going to set this aside. That is kind of pretty. If I cut it off right, I think that's just too big and too small. Just like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. What about white? That's kind of pretty, but just not quite right. One's in a little pot. Oh, that one's kind of pretty. I think I found it. I really think I like that. And then I can put a butterfly right up there. So, and that's sometimes, you know, when you're layering, you've got your flowers cut out like this. You know, you've got that little bit of option to tuck them together like I did here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in and put a little bit of glue on there so that it doesn't move. Excuse me. Okay, so there we go. Put a little bit on the back here. There, now when we start trying to glue the back of it and everything, we don't have to worry about fitting it back together again the way that it looked good. All right, so I'm going to cut the bottom off after I glue it on. Yep, and I like that. So we're just going to glue the whole thing. And again, I'm going to put it down and spread it all out well. It's also a good way to get it out on all those little tiny bits. When you're spreading it out like that, it'll just go right down there and spread. And then, hope you haven't glued it to your paper. There we go. Keep that up there so I don't put it in the messy glue I just made. Do I want it there or do I want it over just a little? There. That looks pretty good. Find a spot on my napkin that's not gluey. And this just helps, so if you've got glue all over your hands like I do, you're not trying to press it down and then pulling it back up with the glue that's already on your hands. And it also kind of grabs any glue that squishes out. There we go. So I think that looks good, and I'm going to turn it over and trim that off. Being careful not to trim my fold. There we go. Okay. And had I thought about it, I could have made that a pocket. But I didn't think about it, so next time. Excuse me. And then we just need a butterfly. This one has pink and purple. I think that would be pretty. And it is. There, that looks good. And now it just has a pretty little surprise on the inside. So there we go. And we're going to put this on here like that, just a little off the bottom. So that looks good. That I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac for. Okay. I'm going to just kind of glue down. Where did I put that glue? Right there. Glue down that edge. Tuck this in, because remember, we have to tuck this in, but we don't want it to be super, super loose. So what I'm going to do is here's the edge of my flap. I'm going to fold it back over here like this. See, there's the edge of my flap. So I have lots of space between where I'm going to put my glue. Then I'm going to lift this up and put glue in this area so that I have enough to really keep it nice and sturdy, to be tucking that in and out and not have a problem. So now we've got glue right to there. Let's make sure I've got it straight. And it is. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, here's the edge of my flap, so I'm going to fold this one back right about there. That's leaving us a space. And I'm going to put the glue on here. And I'm putting it on the purple part because that's the flat part, and I don't want to glue my ruffles down. There we go. Now our glue is out here, and so we don't have to worry about our flap getting glued down, and we also will have extra space to put that in and take it out without, having to get it in a little tiny area that just fits. And there we go. I think that just looks so pretty. I'm sure people have done it before. I just had never seen until I saw that thank you letter, I think it was, that Gail had, until I saw that one, and it was one of these. I had never seen anybody put lace on the front before. So I just really thought that was pretty cool. I'm going to grab my affirmation flowers and see about putting one right up there. Let's look at our book. That one's pretty blue. See how it will look. I'm going to put this, because it's parchment, I'm going to put that right there so that it will cover up that glue I spread around. Let's see. Is that, that's where we put that one. This one's going here. Oh, that one doesn't have a nap. That was the other one that did. just have to see. I'm confusing myself. This one did. Okay. Alrighty. But that paper I think is so pretty. I don't think it needs anything on it. Alright, so since there's nothing here that I have to match with, and this does look nice with this bluer purple here, along with this color purple goes with this, so I am going to put that right on the front. Now this is cardstock, so I'm going to just kind of loosen it up a little bit. Put it on with the Fabri-Tac just so we get a quick grab with it. Okay, I'm going to wipe that off because it's a mess. Because the Fabri-Tac is just coming off the end of my jar and it's all like really sticky and hard, and that's when it makes lumps on your project. Get on there really well, especially since this is cardstock, so that it will stick nicely. This one says love on it. There, that was just a little extra something that needed, other than a little bit of purple distressings on the outside. There we go. So now we have this, and it opens up for a journaling spot. Kind of glued it down a little bit there. Nice journaling spot. Little secret journaling spot, and a really pretty little extra something. So I like that. I'm not going to glue this in yet because I may want to put it at the bottom and turn it into a pocket. Or I might just want to paper clip it in. It's on the other side. And that was just that really pretty tea-dyed paper that we might not even do anything with. I might put a blue paper clip on it, and then it would look good there, but yet we can leave that really pretty piece of tea-dyed paper without affecting it. So I think I'm going to do that because I have to distress the edges anyways, and I might want to maybe put a little bit of stenciling on this part, although I don't think so. Actually, I think right here I want to put some lines. So there we go. I think that that turned out really pretty. So we have that one. And that one. Excuse me. So there we go. I think that those are really pretty. I like the little extra there, and I just love that lace on the front. So thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.